All right, guys, welcome in. Farzin Vasugan here with you, and this is panic button time. Yeah, I don't have a panic button. No, we do not need to hear myself twice there. We're already having enough recapping one loss. We don't need to hear it a second time. Yeah, this is panic button time, guys. I'm Farzin Vasugan. Welcome into the Chief Zone podcast. We are here to recap Kansas City's second straight loss of the season. Second time they've dropped 2 games in a row. They're 5-5, and we have a lot to discuss here. Everyone has thoughts right now. I'm looking at Twitter. I'm looking at the chat. It is a firestorm. I am worried about Kansas City tonight. I think we're going to have protests. There are going to be all kinds of angry fans out and about tonight. Yeah, there is a lot to go over here. Look, here's what I will say. This is not on one player or one coach or one specific thing, but I'm telling you right now, certain decisions need to be made. And I think we got to start having uncomfortable conversations. And no, I'm not going to sit here and say fire Andy Reid. I'm not going to suggest firing the coach that's guided you to all of these AFC championship games. I'm not ready for that conversation. But I do think there needs to be a conversation about special teams. So many holding calls. This game, there was an illegal block in the back on the kicking team for Kansas City, on the punting team, I should say. Remember Marvin Mims, his big return? Thankfully, the Chiefs defense, Leo Chenal specifically, prevented a wide open touchdown pass from Bo Nix, holding Denver to 6 points early on. But Kansas City in this game, special teams, an issue. Harrison Butker, it didn't cost the Chiefs, but had another low kick on a kickoff there. And then Juwan Taylor, your right tackle, who showed some improvement in 4 of the last 5 games. I would say the most recent game against Buffalo, prior to today, of course, took a big step back. And I think he took an even bigger step back today with 2 penalties. One of them was a pass to Kareem Hunt, where Kareem Hunt got to the 2-yard line, but Juwan Taylor lined up illegally. And so the Chiefs had to go back, and Mahomes on the next play, or the second and next play, threw an interception. Terrible throw. And a throw that Mahomes absolutely should not have thrown, but the Chiefs could have avoided that situation if Juwan Taylor lined up correctly. Because the Chiefs should have been at the 2, and you'd like to think with 3 opportunities with Kareem Hunt, you get that in there. And then, the Chiefs got some help in this one because of Riley Moss, but Juwan Taylor on 3rd and I think 10 or 15, I don't remember exactly the down and distance. I think it was 3rd and 9 to be specific. Patrick Mahomes runs for it, was just short of a first down, but they had to go back because of Juwan Taylor. Now, on that next play, Mahomes tried to get it to Hollywood Brown. Riley Moss interfered, so the Chiefs got a first down there anyway. And I think that's the one where Travis Kelce got the go-ahead touchdown there. Juwan Taylor is costing you right now. Dave Toub, I don't know if this guy should be a special teams coordinator on this team. And this is not just this year. For years, we've had issues with kick returns and holds and whatnot. This is on repeat right now. This was not a well-disciplined game from the Kansas City Chiefs. And look, if we're being completely honest, you guys know me. I'll keep it 100 with you guys. The Chiefs are very lucky they only lost by 3 in this one. Denver absolutely should have gone up 14-0 to start this game. But a big 3rd down sack from Chris Jones on the opening drive of the game, that helped, and that forced Denver to kick a field goal. And after Marvin Mims' big punt return, Bo Nix had a wide open receiver, and thank goodness for Leo Chenal, he had that big tip right there to prevent a wide open touchdown. So it should have been 14-0 to start off. And the halftime conversation would have been much different, but that's not what we got here. And by the way, as far as the defense goes, on 3rd and long, right before the 2-minute warning, 3rd and 15, No pressure whatsoever. I saw a funny tweet. Somebody said that Bo Nix had time to put more gel on his hair in the pocket before he got the pass to Sutton. And on 3rd and 15, you just allow that. This was an undisciplined game from Kansas City, and they're very lucky they only lost by 3 tonight. Look, I know you guys have a lot on your minds, so I want you guys to call in here. There's the link, and I'll be posting it throughout the night because I know there are a lot of thoughts on this game here. And right now, Kansas City, they're in peril position right now because the 3 wildcard teams that are ahead of you in the standings, I know more people are probably going to want to talk about the standings than the game itself. Who are the 3 wildcard teams? You have the Buffalo Bills. They beat you 2 weeks ago. You have the LA Chargers. They already got a win on you earlier in the season. And then you've got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, guess what? They got a win on you earlier this season. So the 3 teams that currently possess a wild card spot in the AFC, the Bills, the Chargers, and the Jaguars, they're already up on you. So Kansas City is 5-5. Jacksonville's 6-4. That's 1 game apart. But because of the tiebreaker, Kansas City is 2 games behind Jacksonville. Your only real hope, first of all, you're going to need teams to start losing games. This is not a position you ever want to find yourself in. And by the way, the Chiefs are not in the 8th position. They're in the 9th position. Houston has the tiebreaker over Kansas City right now. And I'm looking at it is based on percentage in conference games, in which Kansas City's percentage win in conference games is not very good. They're 2-4 in that category. They do have the tiebreaker over the Baltimore Ravens, who are also 5-5. You do play Houston next month, so you've got a chance to move ahead of them in the standings there. But boy, you're going to need a lot more than Houston. You're going to need a lot more than beating the Chargers. The Chiefs have very little room for error because there's a chance that the Bills, they're going to have double-digit wins as a wild card team unless the Patriots slip, which I don't anticipate happening. So it's really going to come down to either the 6 or the 7 seed. And I think your only hope is you beat the Chargers next month and you hope that their offensive line woes continue, because that is really starting to hurt them. That is putting a toll on Justin Herbert right now. You saw that today, but you're going to need a lot of other help. And Kansas City found themselves in that situation. Kyle is saying we literally have to win out. I don't disagree. Kansas City has to win out now. And not just win out, you need help. Kansas City, if they were to win out, they would have moved ahead of Denver in the schedule. But that's not happening no more. And listen, I think you guys can already tell with what I've been talking about. You're not winning the division. That belongs to the Denver Broncos. I know the Chargers. What are the Chargers? I assume Chargers fans were pulling for the Chiefs in this one, because you wanted to keep the division race somewhat close, but now the Chargers are going to be behind the Broncos a little bit now. And with their offensive line woes, I don't think they can catch up. I think the Chargers will fall out of the wild card picture, but the question is, can Kansas City do enough to be one of the teams to be better than essentially Houston and Baltimore? Because Baltimore's starting to play better lately. They're a little bit healthier now. This is a peril position right now. This is panic button time. Nick Wright's going to get trolled. Yeah, he is. Yeah, a lot of you guys are saying they have to win out. Well, agreed. But the Chiefs are going to need a lot more than winning out. They have to win out, and they've got to do a lot more. Tanking for love. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here. I don't know. Like, listen, if you guys want to call in, call in. We got wide open lines. I thought we were going to have a big line of callers right now, unless I don't see it on my end. I know you guys have a lot of thoughts, so I want to hear from you guys. I commented on Facebook, Instagram. I don't know on Instagram Live if it'll let you click on the link, but I want to hear from you guys. Huge, that's a nice name, says Spags is the problem. Send him to New York. What did Spags do in this game? Okay, the 3rd and 15 situations, yes, they were bad. Like really bad. But did you not see the halftime score? Ever since the first drive of the game, Denver only had 1 first down in the entire first half. They made adjustments in the second half, yes, but it's not like Denver was just dominating in the second half. Kansas City's offense, first of all, Jawan Taylor, the illegal formation, that hurt the Chiefs, and holding later on. Well, the Chiefs got a little bit of help from Riley Moss later on the next play, actually. But that illegal formation call on Jawan Taylor was a big difference maker. The Chiefs had the ball at the 2-yard line, throwing to Kareem Hunt. And unfortunately, you went back, and a play or two later, Patrick Mahomes throws an interception. Let me just get the exact. So there was a penalty. Kareem Hunt pushed out of bounds at the Denver 2 for a 15-yard gain. That was huge. But then they went back. It was a 1-yard pass, then an incompletion. So it was 3 plays later. That's when Mahomes threw the interception on a really terrible pass. It's just mistake after mistake. So I've got a question for you guys in the chat. This is a simple yes or no question for you guys. Will the Chiefs make the playoffs this year? I just want to know from you guys, do you think that if you had to bet money right now on the Chiefs making the playoffs, what do you say? We need Isaiah Pacheco back. Why? What has Isaiah Pacheco done this year? I mean, I know the Chiefs have been very non-committal to the run, and you saw that with Kareem Hunt both last game and this game, where he has a decent yard per carry average, and the Chiefs are just not willing to. It's not like the Chiefs use any other running back on the ground. Kareem Hunt was the only running back they used in this game for rushing yards. Rashard Smith didn't get a carry in this one. Elijah Mitchell, who was active for the first time this year and was targeted in the end zone on that really bad pass from Patrick Mahomes that ended up being picked off. I mean, they did not run the ball with anyone else. It's been Kareem Hunt. Has he gotten stuffed, or did he lose a yard a couple of times here and there? Yes, but he always gets you a good push. I mean, he almost averaged 7 yards a carry in the first half. He finished with 4.5. And on 3rd and short, what in the hell are the Chiefs doing? Let me pull up the picture here, because this absolutely needs to be discussed. And by the way, I would love to be a fly on the wall in that locker room. Because this Chiefs team right now, this is uninspiring football. I think I have it on Twitter. Give me a moment. I do want to show you that 3rd and 2 play before they punted it back to Denver, I think to allow Denver to tie. There we go. Now I got it pulled up. I'm just putting the picture individually, if I can get that. There we go. Okay, now I have it up on my end. Now I got to show it to you guys here. Look at this. Look at this right here. The Chiefs are up by 3. And by the way, on this drive, this is Kansas City's first time leading. Look at that defensive line. Look at that gap in the middle. And who's that? Rashard Smith. The Chiefs did not snap the ball here. They moved Rashard Smith in motion, threw a terrible pass to him. It was just ugly. Look at this gap right here. Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith can get a push for you for 2 yards. If you had the right personnel, which I don't know if Rashard Smith would have been the right personnel, it's Kareem Hunt who you have to use here. What are the Chiefs doing? How do you not call a run with Kareem Hunt there? I mean, listen, I get it. You don't want to be obvious. You don't want to be predictable, but sometimes you just got to do what works. You know what works for the Eagles? A tush push. It's only been stopped like maybe 1 or 2 times. And one of them was probably their own wrongdoing when they fumbled at one time in the playoffs against, well, I don't remember what it was. Now, the reason I'm bringing up the tush push as a comparison is because Jim Nantz and Tony Romo mentioned in the last game against Buffalo that the Chiefs with Kareem Hunt, the Hunt bunt, or whatever you want to call it, they have a higher success rate with the Hunt bunt than the Eagles do with the tush push, which I don't know if that's real, but that, according to Jim Nantz and Tony Romo, it is. But the Chiefs refuse to do that. Rex Ryan, he said this 2 weeks ago, 13 days ago to be exact. He said that he picked Buffalo to win that game because he knew Kansas City would not run the ball when they should have. And a lot of Chiefs fans were not happy with that analysis, and it was received by, oh, well, what has Rex Ryan accomplished? Rex Ryan does not have to be a Super Bowl champion to be able to point out all these terrible decisions from the Chiefs. Rex Ryan was not wrong, whether you like it or not. And for Kansas City to be so non-committal on the ground, I was about to tweet during the first half. I was about to say, wow, the Chiefs are actually, they're doing a good job. They're committing to Kareem Hunt. They're running the football. And listen, I know Mahomes got sacked 3 times in this game here. One of them was right before halftime. I don't think the Denver pass rush was as scary as it's been all season. I actually thought Josh Simmons played great in this game. He had that one false start, and then he had another holding call that was declined. And you could tell the Chiefs missed Josh Simmons' last game against Buffalo. Jawan Taylor, it seemed like during a 4-game stretch, he was making progress. Now in these last 2 games, he's back to being the Jawan Taylor we all know and do not love. I asked you guys in the chat, will the Chiefs make the playoffs? A lot of no's, a very few yeses. Some probably not. Very few yeses. Okay. So as Jeff Probst would say on Survivor, the tribe has spoken. Everyone thinks, well, almost everyone thinks the Chiefs are missing the playoffs. Oh, boy. Listen, no right or wrong answer. I don't blame anyone for feeling the way they do. Yeah, this is not good. All right, I want to go to you guys. I want to hear from you. Listen, unfiltered, for the most part, unfiltered, but this is your safe space. I want to hear from you. Now, I get people asking, how can I call in? There is my comment right there. It has the link for you guys to call in. All you have to do is click on it, turn on your audio, your video, put in your name, and we can chat it up. Daniel, you're hitting leadoff tonight here on the Chiefs Zone podcast. Talk to me, Daniel.
This team is fucking pathetic.
Tell me more, Daniel.
All right, let me answer your question. No, we're not making the playoffs. I said if we lose 5.
Okay, why do you think the Chiefs are not making the playoffs?
I think just the way their schedule is, you're going to have to win out because Jacksonville's winning, and now Jacksonville has a 2-game lead on the Chiefs for that last spot because we lost to them, and then so you figured they're going to keep winning because the Colts keep winning. So it's one of those things like, kiss the 9-year win streak of the division is done. That is out the window. We are not getting that. The playoffs, we're gonna have to go 11-6, maybe, and that's gonna be one of those where we're gonna lose. We're gonna look back at the Jacksonville game as one of the reasons why we didn't make the playoffs. We're gonna go back to look at the reason why why we don't run the fucking ball when we're playing a team that's ranked 31st in run defense and the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that is correct.
Or a team that today that hasn't won a good game and are 9-2, and they lead the freaking league in punts.
That is very true. Yes.
Okay? This is by all means the weirdest thing. It's not Andy Reid. Fuck Matt Nagy. It's not Matt Nagy. It's not Andy fucking Reid. He's the one that's calling this plays calls. But so I know usually it's Bob going crazy, but I've had enough of this team. This team is no. I'm Travis Kelce. What are you doing, bro? I'm wedding already. Go plan your wedding.
If that's the start from Daniel, I can't wait for Bob when he calls in. That is going to be okay. All right, we're off to a great start here. Lane, I see your camera just went off. Are you there, Lane? Turn your camera on because I know you've been waiting a long time. Okay, Lane, are you there? Okay, Lane, I'm going to put you back on hold. Get your camera fixed, and we'll get back to you. Philip, you're next year on the Chiefs Zone podcast. What's up, Philip?
Hey, tough game today, but to me, what is up with Andy Reid heading into halftime saying we need to start running the ball more, get more consistent with that, and then clean up our penalties? Seemed like to me, the second half, we didn't try to do any of that.
I don't disagree. Listen, I will say this. I thought the opening drive of the second half was a great drive. Kansas City was doing everything right except for the Juwan Taylor illegal formation and the Patrick Mahomes bad pass.
Right. I agree with that. I mean, to me, he said we need to do this. I mean, you've talked about it for weeks on end. We need to run the ball more, get more consistent with it.
Yeah.
But to me, this whole game is a great game. I mean, I live in Colorado. I'm going to catch hell for this for sure.
Oh, no.
Being a Chiefs fan, but I've dealt with it for 40 years. What's another few years for sure? But to me, is a great game, but we beat ourselves. I mean, penalties, killed too many drives. In the end, we can't blame, no one can blame the refs here. I'm tired of hearing how the Chiefs always win because of the refs, but to me, we can't do any of that. We got to own it. And it's, to me, I think it comes down to Andy Reid. What some of them play calls at the end, even at 4 minutes to go in the game, we came out, threw the ball 3 times, kicked the ball away with 3:50 on the clock or whatever. Hell, run the ball. Let's take a little time off that clock, and they don't get the ball back with as much time at the very least.
Yeah, that it was bad management. And again, that 3rd and 2, and I appreciate the call, Philip, that 3rd and 2 play call right there that I just showed you, Denver basically said, we're begging you to get the first down on us. And the Chiefs said, okay, we'll throw it. Like, well, what was that earlier in the game? It was like 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1. I don't remember what it was. And the Chiefs just ran like the weirdest play ever. And Zach Allen was basically all over Mahomes. 2 guys got in there for the set. Like, what are the Chiefs doing with some of these play calls? I don't get it. Lane, I see you got your tech situation set up. You are now on the Chiefs Zone podcast. What's up, Lane?
Oh, man, I can't follow up that leadoff, but just any number of things, you know, that we've talked up and down about the 3rd down situation. I don't understand that at all. You broke it down perfectly. And especially having played O-line in college, you feel pretty shitty that they can't, that it almost feels like it's I was the first to throw Rex Ryan under the bus when he made that comment, but he's absolutely right. And when you got guys up front that can make holes like that, it's like, what? Like I said, an offensive lineman's got to feel pretty crappy that your coaching staff doesn't trust you to run the ball, doesn't trust you to pick it up. It just sucks. I mean, and that just seems like the tip of the iceberg. And then you follow it up with Spags called a great game on defense. We held them really close to what we should have in the first half, but the 3rd and 10 pluses, and I commented earlier on the video, 3rd and 10 plus, you cannot give up those first downs. It's just terrible. And like I said, Andy calls the plays, going back to that topic, but it's like, at some point, do you think Andy swallows his pride a little bit and turns the play calling over to somebody else? I mean,
who is your option right now? Because
that's it. That's just it. Because I mean, they tried Nagy, he didn't do any better. It sucks. Like, because and like I said, I commented earlier, as a Chiefs fan, and we've been so blessed to see what we have over Mahomes' career, and like borderline almost being like spoiled to where it's like you almost kind of feel like we're whining a little bit. But as a fan base that's been exposed to that kind of thing, we expect more out of it. We see what we can have. Mahomes overthrows a guy on the very first drive. That's a walk-in touchdown if he hits Worthy.
Twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Rasheed Rice has first down catches. If he just catches the ball, Kelsey dropped a first down patch. Everybody's just like, for some reason, it seemed like on the trip to Denver, we all left our hands in Kansas City. Like, what? Why are we? What? Like, I don't. Guys' heads weren't in the game. You know, Andy Reid's good off a bye, and we just. The only thing that, like, Do I think we make the playoffs? Yes, I hold hope. I think we can because we've played really good teams that we boat race the Ravens, granted depleted secondary, but they're coming on. We boat race the Lions. Again, they were hurt a little bit, but now they're coming. The Lions are the Lions. We're playing good teams. We're beating really good teams. The problem is we're losing games to teams that we shouldn't be.
Hey, Lane, I'm going to go ahead and cut you off. I appreciate it. Great thoughts there. We do have a lot of callers to get to. I appreciate the points there. I mean, listen, the schedule does ease up a little bit, I would suppose, after Indy, but still, it just seems bleak right now. Like you have to win out. You have to beat whatever good teams are left on your schedule, and you've got a couple, including Denver again. And I've said this many times, Denver's the best defense in the league, in my opinion, and you're going to face them again this year. You've got Houston, which Houston has the same record as Kansas City right now. You've got Indy, who has been the surprise of the season. People keep waiting for them to drop, and they're not doing much of that right now. So Kansas City literally has no room for error. They've got to beat the good teams, and they cannot lose one of those, surprise. They can't have a surprise loss this year. They have to go. Basically, it's perfection. And at 5-5 right now, are you betting on that? I'm not. I mean, this is going to be a big uphill battle. Chris, you've been waiting very patiently. What's up, Chris?
Not much, man. Just a couple thoughts. This one really sucks. I mean, everything that could have gone wrong for us in that second half did. Of course, the penalties killed us. In my opinion, one thing that really hurt us was that missed extra PAT by Buckner, which really shocked me because his kicks rarely, if ever, get blocked. So that hurt us right there. But I agree with what you're saying. At this point, it's a must win out, and we need help. If we can still get in the playoffs somehow as a wild card team, then I think we could still make a run. But at this point, I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, let's forget about getting in and possibly making a run. As you just said, I mean, not only do you have to win out, you need a lot of help. Kansas City's never had to say that this late in the season before. That's the scary part about Kansas City right now. And they really have not had a lot of help lately in the schedule.
No, and one more thing I want to say before I get off here. Patrick Mahomes has led us to 7 straight consecutive AFC championships, 5 trips to the Super Bowl, and 3 of them we've won. He's allowed to have one bad season. It's not the end of the world if we don't make the playoffs. There's always next year.
All right. Appreciate it, Chris. I think the concern with that, I mean, listen, yes, have the Chiefs had all of this success going to the Final Four of the NFL 7 years in a row? Yeah, I mean, that's just unheard of. You never thought that would work in Kansas City or just happen. By the way, a lot of you guys are asking, how do you call in? I'm going to comment right now with the link. Now, the stream is a little bit on a delay here, but I'm commenting right now. It basically says call into the show, and there's a link for it. A lot of you guys have been clicking on that link and calling in. So it's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. It's also going to be on Instagram. So I don't know why it doesn't go to X, but if you want, hop on YouTube or Facebook and you'll get that comment there. Okay, for whatever reason, it's not commenting on Facebook. I think it's because we comment too much sometimes. All right, Terrence, you are next on the Chiefs Zone podcast. What's up, Terrence?
Ooh, Farzine, brother, what's going on, man?
It could be better.
Man, we really screwed the pooch on this one, man. Really? I mean, there's 2 things that I don't want to hear anymore after today. I don't want to hear about Andy Reid's spectacular record after the bye. I don't want to hear that no more.
I 100%. I'm sorry to cut you off. I 100% agree with you because they just lost this game last year, coming off a Super Bowl. I know the other team was also off a bye, but they lost that one. The thought is Andy Reid does well, and then the year before that, you lost to the Eagles in the regular season, coming off a bye. I know the Eagles were all coming off a bye, but still, the whole Andy Reid bye thing, that is a myth to me, man. I don't think it is what people make it try to be.
Yeah, that is absolutely dead. I think we've seen a couple of seasons now for whereas that myth is absolutely dead. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna say this. I know this is probably going to be absolute sacrilege that I'm going to go ahead and say this, but I kind of sort of understand why Philly kind of fired Andy Reid a little bit. Some of the things that he does as far as play calling is concerned, and let's not kid ourselves. He is the one calling the plays. He's the one running the show.
Yeah,
He
I agree.
runs he runs the team with an iron fist. Some of the things that he does are absolutely mind numbing regarding as far as down the distance, running the ball, not running the ball. The play that he ran on 3rd and 2 on the little flag route to a rookie running back, like that's the game is on the line. I don't understand as far as why you just don't run the ball to Kareem Hunt
I
when I
yeah.
mean, statistics just prove that it's automatic. Just give him the ball. Give him the ball twice. I mean, I just don't understand some of the things where he outthinks himself. I don't know if he gets. I really don't understand it. It's frustrating. And just the last thing I don't want to hear. I think, quite honestly, we might have the worst special teams in the league.
Yeah, I
I don't want to
agree.
hear. I don't want to hear about Dave's Tobe special teams prowess anymore. I don't
Yeah.
I don't I don't I don't want to hear it because our special teams is absolutely atrocious. I mean, some of the things that we get called for are absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I'm not calling for Dave Toll to get fired, but I mean, we really, really need to go ahead and kind of take a look at our special teams in the off season. I mean, because I mean, man, it's a problem and it's costing us games and it's cost us games this season.
I'm with you, Terrence. I said it at the beginning of the show. I think there needs to be an uncomfortable conversation about Dave Tobe. I think Dave Tobe has been a great special teams coordinator in the NFL, but the last couple of years, because the issues are not just this year. There are so many holds on kick returns. Today, during a punt, there was an illegal block on the back on the punting team, the Chiefs. Like, how does that happen? How? And it's happening over and over and over again. Allowing a block there on the PAT. I mean, so many. Listen, I think with the way this game went, Denver would have ended up winning anyway. But boy, this is frustrating to watch. I mean, people have their complaints about Matt Nagy. We're starting to see some people turn their back on Spags, which I don't know if I agree with too much right now. But I think Dave Tobe, we've got to have a serious conversation about Dave Tobe. Special teams has not been very good. Nico Remigio, I don't know what the point of Nico Remigio is on returns. Tyquan Thornton's fast as hell. But, I mean, is he just not getting the blocks? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. By the way, for the Chiefs to continue to not use Tyquan Thornton is so criminal to me. I mean, we mentioned earlier, I think when Lane called in, Thornton torched, I think it was Riley Moss earlier in the game. And you only have one catch for Thornton, 61 yards. You do the very simple math, 61 divided by 1 is 61, meaning he's averaging 61 yards a catch. Coming into this game, Tyquan Thornton was averaging 22.2 yards per catch. That's the most in the NFL by any pass catcher that's in the top 100 in receiving yards. Because sometimes you have guys who are low on the depth chart and they just have one or two great catches and that's it. Tyquan Thornton, and I don't know what his average is going to be. It should be close to the 30s after this game. But Tyquan Thornton has 15 catches this year and is averaging nearly 30 yards a catch. But the Chiefs are, for whatever reason, barely using him. This guy was torching guys tonight in Denver. By the way, to go back to Daniel's comment, the one thing I did disagree with him was Kelsey. Listen, Kelsey, I thought had a good game. Yeah, he had a drop before halftime, but 9 catches, 91 yards. I mean, I thought that was a pretty good game. The wide receiver trio has been disappointing for 2 games in a row now. Hollywood Brown, 4 catches for 40 yards. Xavier Worthy, 3 for 25. Rashee Rice, 6 for 38. None of them averaged more than 10 yards per catch. Hollywood averaged 10 yards a catch. I don't know, man. Like, you got to start changing that personnel as well. Because Xavier Worthy has gotten off to a very slow start since his return. He had a good game against Baltimore, but that's it from Worthy. All right. Everyone, hide your kids. By the way, I'm commenting again with the link. Some of you guys are saying you guys don't see it. Here's the link again. I know it's being a little weird on Facebook. Hopefully, it'll appear on there. Just click on that and follow the simple steps. But seriously, though, if you have kids, hide them because Bob is about to drop a ton of F-bombs. I've seen people do over-unders in the chat already. Bob, the floor is yours.
Oh, Fars. What's happening, brother?
You tell me.
Hey, turn out the lights. Party's over. This shit is hit the fan, man. I mean, it's hit the fan. We got no, we both, we've got the same fucking problems that we started off with the line. We can't protect Patty. Patty's got too many decisions to make. He has no time. I mean, they quit running the fucking football. I mean, and then what in the hell is going on in the backfield, man? You're giving them way too much, man. I mean, that kid, they got to have the data on these guys, and they got toasted a couple times, man. Just on, I mean, they was on the money passes, but man, I mean, you got to be on top of them, even if you get a flag, you got to be roughing these guys up, man. We're just rolling over and taking it, man. I mean, it really is sad. I know every dynasty has an ending to it, and I'm not gonna drop a lot of F-bombs today. I promised the Lord I wouldn't do that today. So I know this is a family show, but these motherfuckers suck.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I mean, it's disappointing, man. It's heartbreaking. But Travis had a good game. Patty's careless, reckless with the ball. I mean, I don't know where to start with this team, man. It's just heartbreaking. Chris Jones sucks. I mean, he had some pressures. He had some pressures.
Hold on, Bob.
He flushed him a few times, but no sacks.
Well,
We get no sacks, man.
He got a sack on third down today. Now, I will say this, and I've said this many, many times, even though I thought Chris Jones had a good game today, that third down sack right in front of the goal line was huge, and he got a lot of pressures on Bo Nix.
Yeah, I'll tell you. All right, I can vouch for that. Yeah.
Now, let me just say this, though, to your point. Ever since the opening drive of the game, when they sacked Bo Nix twice, the Chiefs did not get to Bo Nix again in this game.
All they did was flush him, man.
I don't think Chris Jones is worth that contract.
He isn't. He's lazy. He only plays when he wants to. I don't really know what this. Looks like Bolton's lost a step.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things going on here, man. It's just too many things. The coaching staff. I mean, and like everybody said, man, it all falls with Andy. It starts with Andy. Andy's responsible for everybody. And like the brother there before me, Andy does it with an iron fist, man. And it's got to fall in his lap, man. And they was so pissed off in Philly that when he left because of his clock management and all the decisions that he was making with this team. Sometimes he's just too loyal to people, man, to be able to manage them.
I mean, he took a long time to fire Bob Sutton. It took an offside from D Ford.
You know what I'm saying? It's a tough business, man, but somebody's got to do it. If they paid me that kind of money, I'd drop a few F-bombs and go in there and light them up, man. I call a spade as a spade, It is what it is. But as far as making playoffs, I think we're done, man.
All right.
I mean, you got a running back coming in here, been setting the world on fire. Now, their teams that they've been playing hasn't been that great. They've had a weak schedule, as most say in the NFL. But, man, I mean, Taylor sets the world on fire, man.
Yeah, he's taken steps back the last two games, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, no, and I agree. So we'll see. It's just so heartbreaking, man, to see the team, that has led us to the promised land, man. They've shared a lot of, showed us some championship ball, and what it felt like to be a dominating team. So, I got really mixed emotions right now, man, with it all.
All right.
It's so sad, man. So sad.
It, Bob.
Have a good evening. Thanks for the show, man. You're always awesome.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it. Garrett, I see you're trying to get your camera on. Get it working because you are next. I do want to address this comment real quickly. Joe saying, do you think the extra 21 games over the last 7 years has finally caught up? That is a season's worth of games. Also, it is almost an entire season more than the second place team. people have been saying this for years that, the extra game is going to come into play. Listen, I don't know. I don't know physically how these guys are feeling. Are they playing, a lot of extra games compared to most teams? Absolutely. This is, especially now with a 17th game on the schedule, this is unprecedented that we're seeing the Chiefs play this many games. You don't see that because they always make it to the Final Four of the NFL. Let me just say this. Do I think in mid-November, do I think Travis Kelce or who's been on the team a long, long time? I don't know. Chris Jones. Do I think those guys are aching because they've been playing into late January and February every year? I don't know, man. Because I think, once you're in April or May of the offseason, June especially, because that's when the players break before training camp. I mean, I think you're physically in a pretty good shape, in a good position, I should say. So I don't really know if that's playing a toll. I mean, you saw it today. Today, I thought there were a bunch of mental errors, and somebody said it earlier. I apologize. We've had a lot of callers, so I don't remember who said this. The Chiefs beat themselves in this game. They beat themselves. Let's go to Garrett. Garrett, you're on the Chiefs Zone podcast. What's up, Garrett?
What's up? Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I think the reason why we lost this game is because of tackling and our secondary. We make great plays on like first and second down, but then on third down, we just miss wide open coverages or our linebackers just don't read it and whatever. So I'm not going to blame any coaches at all, but I'm going to blame the players for not executing and tackling, and they just need to tackle better. It's simple. If you have an offense like Mahomes, you have a chance with anybody when you have Mahomes as your quarterback. But when your defense can't tackle and when you let up the big plays on third down and when it matters most, you're not going to win any ball game no matter who you play.
I don't disagree. I think the only thing I would add to that, specifically with the defense, so many conversions allowed on third and long. This is where the Chiefs excel. I remember 2 years ago when people said the defense carried Patrick Mahomes on the Chiefs offense because of all the drops. It was the defense that made it basically damn near impossible to convert on anything that was 3rd and 8 or longer.
Yeah, and now it's catching up to them. So, but final thing before I get out of here, I think they will make the playoffs. You can never count out Patrick Mahomes. I know the Jaguars play the Cardinals next week, so that certainly doesn't help. But I think we will sneak in as the final wild card spot. But man, if this tackling doesn't improve, we might not make it. We might have an actual good draft pick for the first time in like 10 years. So
that is a valid point. I appreciate the call, Garrett. People have been saying that the Chiefs, they're not getting the best possible player because of the late draft picks. I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, the Chiefs have found great players outside of the first round. Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, Chris Jones was a 2nd round pick. I know Tyreek Hill, there were crazy circumstances, but he fell to day 3. I mean, the Chiefs have the Chiefs will figure that out. Rashee Rice is another one, though, he's off to a bit of a slow start since his return. By the way, I see some of the arguing and the back and forth in the comments here. For those who are questioning any Chiefs fan that's criticizing, I mean, listen, if you want to be a blind homer and never say anything negative about your favorite team, that's on you. You're more than welcome to that stance or opinion. But I think a lot of people, me included, want to be realistic because I think that's healthy for conversation. If you're upset that Chiefs fans are pessimistic right now, why? What do you expect Chiefs fans to really? I'll be honest with you guys right now. I'm concerned about the turnout at Arrowhead next week. I'm actually a little concerned. There might be some more blue in attendance for that Colts game at Arrowhead. I'm just being honest. Like I don't know where the confidence level is with this team right now from a fan's perspective. I know the Chiefs will hold their heads high and stay optimistic. But if you're a fan, I mean, how do you really feel about wanting to go out there and spend all that money and go through the traffic? Because going to Arrowhead, especially because it's one of the 70,000 seats, got a lot of people going in and out. So the pregame traffic, the postgame traffic, the tailgating, if you take part in any of that, that's basically a full day of dedication and commitment. So I don't know. I mean, some people are upset that fans are upset. I mean, how do you expect fans to react? Chiefs fans are heavily invested in the team, and there's a reason for that. Joe, you have been waiting very patiently. You are next year on the Chiefs Zone podcast. What's up, Joe?
Bars, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Thanks for waiting. What's up?
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to say I don't like the whole like we beat ourselves thing, you know? Like it's week 11 at this point. You can't keep using that excuse. Every game's been close that we've lost, but we can't win the big games that matter, like the Bills, now the Broncos couldn't beat the Chargers. So any team with a winning record, they can't beat right now, which is okay. I mean, it's bound to happen. At some point, you pick late in the draft, other teams are further behind. They're going to get better players. I mean, when you're at the ceiling, somebody else is going to eventually catch you in the ceiling. But the problem is with me is the discipline, like just coming out of a bye week and seeing the offensive. There was 3 or 4 offensive penalties that happened that cost yards and explosive plays. And then the special teams was terrible. I mean, the Bucker block kick. I mean, what awkward time for that. And then another kick out of bounds, put them on the 40. And then my big thing was the punt returns. I mean, they had a 7-yard punt return. They had a 26-yard punt return. It's like, dude, you guys cannot you can't fail in every aspect of special teams. Punt returns, kicking the ball, and even kicking off. Like that's crazy. It's just that's a lot.
I agree with you, Joe. I agree with you, Joe. And that's why I said at the beginning of the show, I think there needs to be an uncomfortable conversation about Dave Tobe. He's been great in his career, but the last couple of years, and this year especially, has not been good.
Yeah, also, who does the play calling right now? Is it Nagy? Is it Reed? Is it Mixture? Do we know for sure?
We don't know for sure, but a lot of people truly believe it's Andy Reid. There are a few people out there who think it's Matt Nagy. Listen, it's a funny question because whenever things are working, Andy Reid gets all the credit. Whenever things are not working, people like to blame Nagy or Bieniemy when he was the offensive coordinator. But that's the best I can answer your question.
And the 3rd and 2 passing it was insane. I mean, not running that ball when Hunt's got 13 carries for 59 yards. It's just like, how do you not give him one more carry there? I mean, there was 6 minutes left. So, like, I'm with you, though. Like, the way we were playing, we were bound to lose anyway. But, like, 6 minutes, you get that first down, you can maybe eat up more clock. You might score. I mean, you never know what's going to happen if you run the ball and maybe get the first down on 3rd and 2. But to stop the clock and pass it, that was just it seems like, and it also seems like, I don't know about you think, but when they play physical teams, I feel like they get absolutely bullied in most aspects of the game. Like the Eagles, again, in the Super Bowl last year. It seemed like once they got punched in the mouth, they just folded. And I feel like they do that a lot. Like it's like a bend don't break mechanic for them. Like they don't. I'm with like on the 3rd and 15 that when Knicks completed that, it's like there was no rush. I mean, like you said, they had 2 sacks in the first series, right? Yep. And then they didn't get the Knicks the rest of the game. It's like 3rd and 15, and Spags didn't even design a blitz like that. I mean, there was 3 guys rushing, and I think Leo Chanel was spying on 3rd and 15, like 5 seconds to throw the ball. It's like, where is the magical blitz on that play with a minute and 5 seconds left? But I
agree.
So again, it's like we beat ourselves, but it's like how many times can you keep using that excuse? It's week 11. If they haven't instilled some type of discipline across, don't get me wrong. Mahomes is the greatest quarterback I've seen play besides Brady, but Mahomes has 18 more years to catch Brady, right? So like it's probably bound to happen, but like that's the 3rd interception this season in the red zone. It was on the 16-yard line or something.
I know there was one against the Eagles that went off Kelsey's hands, and then there was a 99-yard pick 6. Those other
against the Jags
interceptions come to mind.
Yeah, the Jags, and then the one against the Eagles, and now this one. I mean, they're on the 16-yard line, and he throws a pick. It's just, it's just like, and I mean, I don't know if it's the play calling, and he's trying to find something. Because I think the play calling's been absolutely terrible most of the time. Even like with our trio of receivers, how many passes are going for 5 yards to Worthy or Hollywood or Rice? Like, I mean, Rice is probably one of the most explosive receivers I've ever seen. If you're watching when he catches the ball, how quickly he turns upfield, it's like. But, I mean, every catch can't go for 3 or 4 yards. Like, where is some of these plays at last year where he's catching a 15-yard pass? It's just like, it seems like even a play call to receivers, it's like, let's pick up 4 yards and then not run the ball on 3rd and 2 and then punt it again. It just seems like everything's off. But I feel like week 11, you can't be off in every aspect of the game. That's an excuse. And that's why the season's over. It's because if they haven't figured it out by week 11, they're not going to figure it out before fucking playoff time.
All right, Joe. Appreciate it. Great thoughts there. I do agree. The wide receiver trio, which has been advertised for more than a year, hasn't been good. And by the way, one slight little correction there. The interception, the Chiefs were at the 21-yard line. So statistically speaking, that's not a red zone. But I mean, listen, you're close to the damn end zone in that point. Like, it might as well just be considered that at this point, because you have to score at that point. You have to score. And listen, I've said it. Jawan Taylor causing that penalty to go back when the Chiefs got the ball to the 2. Should have never been in that position anyway to throw that pick. But listen, that happens. That was a terrible throw by Patrick Mahomes. Should have never done that. So it's really just been frustrating. And I think kind of just what Joe was saying, the fundamentals, it feels like the Chiefs are just struggling on those kinds of things right now. We have wide open lines. So if you guys want to call in, a lot of you guys have done so already. I see you guys in the comments asking, where's the link to call in? I just commented again. So if you guys want to chime in, put your face on, speak your minds. I mean, listen, this is a safe space. I'm not going to tell you how to feel. I'm not going to tell you what to say. I mean, as long as you're not saying anything horrific or awful, I'm letting you guys speak your minds. I want to hear from you guys. Yes, a lot of people are saying draft Jeremiah Love, not Jordan Love. No, Jordan Love is already drafted. I don't think the Chiefs are in the market for a running back. But here's my thing. Jeremiah Love, yes, he's great. He's doing a good job this year for Notre Dame. But let's say you draft him. What are you going to do? You should give the ball to him 6, 7, 8 times? I mean, I genuinely do not know if the Chiefs would even use him. I agree that having a running back, if you draft one in the first round, that could maybe help create a little bit of a balance, but I just don't know if the Chiefs would really use him. Listen, if it was up to me right now, I would want to see the Chiefs draft a right tackle. Because you have Creed and Trey Smith under contract. You've got Kingsley Suamataia and Josh Simmons on rookie deals. You could have one more on a rookie deal at right tackle. But I don't know right now, man. I mean, this is really hard to watch. SJ, you are on the Chiefs Zone podcast. What's up, SJ?
What's up? How you doing? Big Chiefs fan.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, this just, oh my gosh. Every game I've noticed, either one, when they're going for it on 4th down, on 4th and 3 or 4th and 2, or 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, I agree. Like, why not just run the ball, give it to Kareem Hunt? That's the very first thing that comes out of my mouth every time they do it.
Yeah.
Even before the play starts, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. It's like they have learned nothing yet from that. They have learned nothing yet. Last game against the Bills, I wanted to say they threw it away on purpose because they know they would meet again. But watching this game, how it was neck and neck, defense is going at the necks of the offenses and stuff. This cannot happen for the rest of the season. It cannot happen against the Colts. It cannot happen against any other team that we're going against.
And there's literally no room for error.
No room, and like you said, the teams that we have lost to, we shouldn't have. We shouldn't have lost to the Chargers or the Broncos. We shouldn't have done that. But they were very close games, and I'm glad they're close games, and I'm glad it's not a blowout. But the mistakes in each game that we have lost this season, they need to fix that before the playoffs, because we're not going to make it to the Super Bowl or even the playoffs.
Well, SJ, let me just tell you something. What's the Chiefs' record right now? 5-5. All 5 wins have been 2 possession games. The other 5 games that you've lost, you tell me. They've all been 1-score games.
One score or either a field goal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, which is pretty good for defense, but at the same time, we should we should have been scoring 40 points and everything, and using Tyquan Thornton. That's one thing that pissed me off the most.
I agree.
The way that way that they have backed off on Tyquan Thornton. Yeah, they use him in these big like they're using Tyquan Thornton how they used Xavier Worthy in the Super Bowl this year. And I do not like that. You have a threat. You have a legitimate deep threat. You have that one weapon that you have been looking for years since Tyreek Hill. And you still refuse to use him as he should be. He has proved himself before Rice got back. And he deserves that Tyreek Hill-esque spot at receiver. He's fast. Yeah, we talk about Xavier Worthy being the speedster and everything, but I think Tyquan Thornton got him on that because Tyquan Thornton seems to get open way more faster and quicker.
I agree.
And more often than Xavier Worthy.
Yes.
So they need to use Tyquan, and especially from here on out, if they want to do a deep ball, they need to start being comfortable. They need to start being comfortable and getting back in that rhythm. You will never be able to get comfortable and get back in that rhythm you were once in if you are too hesitant. If you're going to be hesitant like that during every game, there's no need to be talking about the deep ball or wanting to do it and everything like that because you're hesitant. You don't trust the guy, but you got to put enough trust in all of your players, and you got to put all your trust in all of your players to do their respective jobs. But on the players' side, they need to be disciplined and make sure they're making the catches and stuff. Go back, watch the tape, look at the footing, the footwork, look at your body position, look at everything that you need to do, how you can get open fast, how you can get open smoothly and run the route like it's supposed to be ran. On the defense side, I agree. They need to learn how to tackle. With special teams, we haven't even gotten to the 35-yard line when it came to the kickoffs and the punt returns. It's like we got these fast guys. They're running fast but going nowhere. It's like these guys are running on a treadmill on special teams, and they need to work on that. They need to work on the blocking. They need to work on the tackling. They need to work on a whole lot of things. So I agree with everyone that's been on here. So those are my thoughts. They need to get better, and no room for error. If this doesn't wake up Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the team, I do not know what else to say or think. But it was a good run. We're probably going to have to be on the couch this year. But hopefully this wakes up that Slayer Mahomes that we seen years ago when we went on the road playoffs for the first time. So
yeah. All right. I appreciate it, RJ. Some good thoughts there. Don't be afraid to call in. Appreciate you taking the time to call in. Rob says in the chat, nobody's fearing the team. Yeah. And I think that's what RJ was saying. Those things that they're not doing. A couple of comments that are coming in during that call. People were talking about how Kareem Hunt is effective. Tyquan Thornton is definitely effective. I mean, the guy's averaging almost 30 yards a catch. It's not updated on ESPN. You know what? I'll do the math myself because I want to know the exact number for Tyquan Thornton. But the point that I'm seeing from a couple of the comments in the last minute or two is that Tyquan Thornton and Kareem Hunt are effective for you, and the Chiefs are not getting the ball to those guys. Listen, I've gotten comments. People are saying the Chiefs don't want to show too much. They want to save it for the playoffs. This is not a time to hold shit back. You have to use your best players, and Tyquan Thornton right now is your best wide receiver. It's not Xavier Worthy. It's not Rashee Rice. It's not Hollywood Brown. It's not Juju Smith-Schuster. It's Tyquan Thornton. I mean, defenders have had a really difficult time catching up with him. Tyquan is making it look easy out there. He's just beating guys on routes. This dude is sprinting and is getting open. I mean, listen, I know Worthy was open early in the game, but with Thornton, it's been consistent with him. He's constantly getting open, but the Chiefs are barely using him. It makes no sense. What did he have? 61 yards? Yeah, he had 61 yards. Okay, so my math is a little off there, but he's averaging 24.8 yards per catch. He's averaging almost 25 yards a catch. This guy is averaging 25 yards a catch, and you're barely using him on your offense. When was Tyquan Thornton's most recent reception? Does anyone know? Off the top of my head, I think it was that 39-yard catch against the Raiders. Yes, it is. So he had one catch for 61 against Denver today. His most recent reception before today, 1 for 39 against the Broncos. I'm sorry, against the Raiders. And then before that, he had 3 catches for 90 yards against the Jaguars, all of them in the first half. Like, they're barely using him. He scored a touchdown 3 games in a row. Like, what is... listen, I get it. Andy Reid's the head coach, not me. He's been doing this a long time. He's got 3 rings. He's led a lot of great players in his career. So he knows when there's good talent. Why is this guy not getting the snaps? I don't know. Because if we're sitting here talking about holding back, this is not a time to be holding back. And I said this on the call with SJ. I said, look, there's little room for error. Right? There's no room for error now. And I was saying that before this game. And you just lost a game that could have helped you get back into the division race. I mean, Jason, sometimes they'll throw it down the field. You see Mahomes do it, but they're barely getting the ball to Tyquan Thornton. Like, they're barely throwing it. The better question is, what good is 25 yards a catch if they're barely throwing it to him? It's like 1 target per game. He was targeted twice today. Okay. Last game once. The Washington game, 0. Why? There's 0 reason why he should have 0 targets ever. The Raiders game, 2. The Detroit game, 0. This guy was getting at least 50% of the snaps each of the first 3 games. And I understand Worthy got hurt on the 3rd snap of the game in week 1. And Rice was not playing for 6 games because of the suspension. But you should still get Thornton involved somehow. And I said it for a while. There aren't enough footballs to go around, but you've got to find a way to get him involved. He is your most effective receiver this year. That is without question. And they're not using him. They're not using him. Hey, if you guys want to call in, this is the last opportunity to do so. I want to hear from you guys. We've had a lot of great calls today, so I appreciate everyone who's been doing that. Before we go any further, I want to remind you, if you guys want to get tickets to catch any Chiefs games, they do return to Arrowhead next week, but I am genuinely concerned as to what the turnout will look like. If you want to help prevent a blowout in the crowd, get your tickets at SeatGeek, and if you're a new SeatGeek customer, use my promo code Farzine and save $20 off your first order from SeatGeek. Go to SeatGeek.com, get your tickets, and at checkout, new customers can enter my promo code Farzine and save $20 off their first order from SeatGeek. Joshua says this team loses to the Titans. Boy, we are now at the point where we are genuinely worried about the Chiefs dropping a game they should not drop, like the Titans. You play the Raiders again later this year. Ray says they thought holding on to Fulton was good. We look like trash out there. Oh boy, yeah. Kimberly says Nick Wright tomorrow. Yeah, Nick Wright said on Friday that he's guaranteeing a win. And I think it was Kevin Wildes who brought up the hypothetical. Well, if, and Nick was like, no, there's no if. Nick is going to get pummeled by Wild and by Brew and his good friend Danny. And it's gonna be a lot like the 610 days. So that'll be fun to listen to. Back when 610 was good, by the way. Tyquan has been relegated to Justin Watson's role. Well, yes, he has, but they would still use Justin Watson, which is a crazy thing. Is the KC media calling out Andy for not using Thornton? A little bit, and I'm sure they will this week. Listen, I listen to a lot of national radio than local. I listen to a lot of talk radio because I always want to hear what everyone has to say, and I'm subscribed to Sirius XM, and I think it's worth the subscription. They've got a lot of good channels on there. There's not an ad or any of that. But man, I am going to. I listen to more national radio than local radio. I'll be listening to a lot of local stuff. I mean, there needs to be tomorrow's press conference when that Andy Reid does at 11:45 or whenever. There needs to be a lot of serious questions about the way the offense operates. Not running on 3rd and short. Not throwing to Tyquan Thornton. Like, again, it's always one thing to criticize too much because then it's like, okay, the coaches know what they're doing. They have the jobs for a reason. You don't. But when you're pointing out these things that everyone can see, including Rex Ryan, that Chiefs fans were not too thrilled about his comments, you've got to be open and honest here. I mean, who was it? Maxwell Hairston, the defensive back for the Bills. The rookie, he called out Kansas City after the game saying, yeah, they had all these predictable plays. Like your own opponents just admitted to you, which was a bad mistake. But given Kansas City's pace at this point, I don't even know if that'll even matter anymore. But I think it was a great wake-up call to let you know that you are way too predictable on offense. That's a big issue with Kansas City right now. They wasted a lot of plays on Rush. You're right today. He's not the answer 100%. I think you mean getting to the ball every single time to him. Not that the Chiefs are doing that, but I think they're relying on him a little too much. I will say that. Dalton says it's also weird how Mahomes isn't extending plays. We have to start fast too. It's like we are trying to get the games to come down to the wire, playing too soft. That's a good point. I mean, we've all complained about how the Chiefs have had bad offensive tackles for years to come, for the last several years, and he found ways to extend them. I think he's still doing that, but I think Mahomes is maybe a little too comfortable in the pocket, and I don't think that's the offensive line's fault. I think there are a lot of coverage sacks or coverage pressures, if you can even call it that Mahomes is having to deal with. Yeah, Sean Payton, now Coach Andy, I agree, Mook, 100%. Mahomes always looks for Brown, Rice, and Worthy. Keep Thornton for sure. Let who go, though? I mean, listen, I'm not calling for anyone to be let go. I think some guys deserve more snaps than others at this point. Like, how do you justify that Tyquan Thornton is not getting enough snaps right now? He's your most effective wide receiver. Kimberly says can't call in tonight, but plan to next week. So I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. There will be a show next week, but I will be traveling. So I will literally be streaming from a hotel, and we won't have because I won't have my equipment with me. We won't have the capability for phone calls next week, as much as I would love that, because I know there would be a lot to discuss. Wes says not seeing the link. You know what? I'll do it one last time. Here is the link. Obviously people are seeing the link because they're calling in, but I see a lot of you guys also saying that you don't see the link. You got to listen. I know that's a firestorm in the comments, but you just got to look out for the comment of mine that has the blue check mark. Daniel says by the time we play the Raiders, the season will be over. Oof. That one I do not like to hear. Nick Wright gifted the Broncos bulletin board material. Listen, I said the Chiefs would win the AFC West before the season, but I told a lot of you guys, do not count out Denver. I said the gap between Kansas City and Denver is closer than a lot of Chiefs fans wanted to admit. Turns out the gap is the other direction. Denver is ahead of the Chiefs. That ain't good. And Denver has a commanding lead in the AFC West right now. Thornton should take Worthy's role. Well, there was a caller earlier who said that Thornton is doing a better job of getting open. I can't really disagree with that right now. I know coaches have this pressure that's like, oh, well, this player is getting paid too much money, or this guy's our first round draft pick. At some point, you just got to use the guys that are actually playing well. You got to use them more. And I think if you start taking snaps away from some guys, that might force some guys to wake up and let them know, hey, this is not okay. Yeah, Rice did have 2 drops in this one. That's not good. Okay, a lot of you guys are talking about Eric Bieniemy, and I know I've alluded to Eric Bieniemy today. Do I think the Chiefs can win their next 7 games? Okay, I'll get back to my Eric Bieniemy comment. This is actually a good question. Do I think the Chiefs can win the next 7 games? Colts, Cowboys, yikes. Listen, the Colts, people keep thinking the Colts are going to wear themselves out. They're a good offense. Jonathan Taylor's having a great season. The Cowboys, as much as I've been a Dak Prescott detractor, the Cowboys offense has been good this year. And the Broncos are a struggling offense. Like, if the Broncos can do the things they did today, what could a team like Dallas do? The Texans, you should be able to win. The Chargers, they don't have an offensive line. You should be able to win. You should be able to beat the Titans. I can't say with the utmost confidence that I see the Chiefs beating the Colts or the Cowboys. Cowboys, I think they can win that game. The Colts, that one is very 50-50. So Colts, I say that's a 50-50 game. I'll give you guys my prediction on that Tuesday. Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Titans, you should be able to win those games. Now I say should. Will they? I don't know. Then you play the Broncos on Christmas. Is that offense going to show improvement by then? Oh, you got about 6 weeks before you face them. Then you have the Raiders. I mean, you're going to win that game. But my question is this: are you still in contention by then? That is a very scary question to ask on November the 16th. That is a very serious concern I have. So there's your answer, Ray. I don't think they're winning all 7. The Colts and the Broncos, and after that, I would say the Cowboys. Those are your 3 toughest games. Jonathan Taylor foaming at the mouth. Yeah, probably is, TJ. Let me ask you guys a question before I get out of here. If the Chiefs chose to fire Matt Nagy and bring in Eric Bieniemy in the offseason, do you think that's a good move? Do you think that'll fix anything? Because here's what a lot of people have pointed out. People have pointed out the lack of explosive plays with this offense the last 2 years with Matt Nagy as the OC. Listen, 2023, Nagy's first year with the OC, you had all those drops. And you got rid of those guys who were dropping passes. MVS, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, those guys are all gone now. Then in 2024, what was the issue? Terrible offensive tackle play. Well, that seems to be solved now. So there's no excuse from Matt Nagy for the offense to execute better. And they got off to a good start, but now it's been a massive struggle the last couple of games. Craig says quit acting in all the commercials, start practicing. Oh boy, I remember when this was talked about in 2021. Look, guys, those are filmed in the offseason when, like, I guarantee you, whatever Christmas commercial you're about to see with any NFL player, those were filmed in April, May, June, July. I remember this was a thing in 2021. People are acting like that they film those commercials live from the locker room during the actual commercial break. Like, come on. I don't think that's the real issue here, is it? Lath says EB probably won't make a difference. Because here's my thing. I remember when Tyreek Hill was traded, he started his podcast that year. And if you remember, Tyreek Hill shared a story about when the Chiefs lost to the Buffalo Bills. on Sunday Night Football. They got destroyed by the Bills. And Tyreek Hill was sharing a story about how Eric Bieniemy was lashing out at the players all week in practice, reminding them what they allowed the Bills to do. People just feel like, because I think the question is, okay, if you bring back Eric Bieniemy, who yells a lot compared to Nagy, do you think the guy who yells a lot is going to be more effective to his players? I don't know. But what I do know is that Eric Bieniemy, he held players accountable. I know there's all this talk about Mahomes and Bieniemy not getting along. Man, they won a couple Super Bowls with Bieniemy. So I'm not so concerned about guys getting along. I don't think Eric Bieniemy is looking to be your friend. I know Patrick Mahomes has a great relationship with Matt Nagy because they would go to local high school games to support Nagy's son, who is now with KU. Listen, I'm not looking for Eric Bieniemy to go, spend time with Patrick Mahomes in high school football games. You want a guy that can go in there and coach and hold every single person accountable, whether you're Patrick Mahomes or you're the player that's on the bottom of the offensive depth chart. That's what Eric Bieniemy did. Is Matt Nagy holding guys accountable? I don't know. My biggest criticism of Matt Nagy during his time as an OC was 2 years ago when the drops were happening. And a lot of you guys pushed back and said, Farzine, the coaches are not dropping passes, the players are. I'm very well aware of that. But did Nagy do anything to address it with the players or address it well enough? No, because those drops never really went away that year. So now the drop issue is gone. The offensive line is definitely way better this year than it had been last year and the year before that. And the offense has taken steps back. I mean, the Chiefs have the same number of losses that they had right now that they had 2 years ago. And that was the really bad year, the down year when Mahomes had to deal with all those drops with the receivers. Yeah, the refs are always bad when the Chiefs win, but when the Chiefs don't win, the refs are totally fair. Yeah, I love that narrative. So original. By the way, just watch. People are still going to complain about the referees this week. The Chiefs are 5-5, and you're still going to get the referee narrative. That'll be hilarious. Rob says nail in the coffin game next week. Oh boy. If the Chiefs lose to the Colts, they'll be 5-6. I don't think the Chiefs have ever been below 500 going into Thanksgiving. That might be the final nail in the coffin. I mean, I don't want to say it's over, but all the wild card, you're not winning the division. It's a wild card competition now, and all three wild card teams are up on you. So if you don't beat the Colts, which, by the way, you need to win that game for the sake of your conference record, because that's how bad the tie. Because with that, you could at least be ahead of the Chargers. Let me look at the standings real quickly. Because if you want to move ahead of the Chargers, you got to start winning division games. The Chargers are 3-0. The Chiefs are 1-2. Then I think it comes to conference games or wins against common opponent. Well, it's up for the division between the Chiefs and the Chargers if it comes down to that. Chargers conference record is 4-2. Chiefs are 2-4. Yeah, you got to win the Colts game. You've got to win the Colts game. If you're going to drop any game, I would rather it be the Cowboys game. I mean, not that you can afford a loss really at this point, but at least that's a non-conference loss. Because I think the Chiefs, they've got a good record against non-conference team, do they not? I know they lost to the Eagles, but I mean, it doesn't really matter, so it's not even worth going into because in the standings, it doesn't show that. But yeah, next week could be a nail in the coffin game, Rob. I agree. You lose that one. I mean, even if you beat the Chargers, the amount of help you would need, you basically need every single thing to go your way. Patrick, oh, I love this question. Patrick says, did you still do the show prior to Casey being relevant? Buddy, we've been hosting this podcast since 2007. Go look up the Chiefs record that year and the year after. and the year after that, and the year after that. Then you tell me. I love when people say, oh, you just started your podcast when Mahomes started playing. Yeah, sure. Okay. Like you really know me. Locker room needs accountability. I don't think Nagy holds the players accountable. EB or someone like him is needed. Yeah, that's my thing right now. Because again, I know the thought is, do you think yelling at the players will help? My question is, who's going to hold them accountable? Because I don't think Matt Nagy is. I think we've given Matt Nagy every opportunity here. The Chiefs offense, yes, they went to the Super Bowl each of the last 2 years, but it wasn't the prettiest of sailing to the Super Bowl, let's say. I think the offense still did some good things, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the offense that we're so accustomed to. And right now, with no injuries, no suspensions, Rice is back. Worthy's been playing several games now. The offensive line is way better than it's been the last 2 years combined. And you're still struggling? Yeah, I think it's time for a switch. I think it's time for a switch with the offensive coordinator. I think it's time for a switch with the special teams coordinator. Like, I know there's been rumors about Matt Nagy possibly going to Tennessee because of Mike Borgonzi. Also, rumors out there about Spags because that's also a Mike Borgonzi connection. Seriously, who is going to hire Matt Nagy? Like, yeah, sure, the Chiefs have won a lot of games each of the last 2 years. Not this year, obviously. But you still have to look at the offensive production. Nagy's not getting hired. Bringing in Brian Daboll would be a good idea. I know a lot of people, when they think of Daboll, he was not a good offensive coordinator. He's been a better offensive coordinator since then. I just don't know if I would want Daboll with this offense right now. Listen, I think there's only one option, and that one option should be Eric Bieniemy. Farzine, I'm not getting notified when you are going live. Do you have a tip for that? Yes. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you don't have a YouTube account, get one. Because on YouTube, you can turn on the bell notification and then you'll get notified. And if you prefer not to watch through YouTube, well, you can at least use YouTube as a notification system and then come watch through Facebook or Instagram, X, however you want to. Yeah, I wish there was a way to notify people better on Facebook, but unfortunately that does not exist to my knowledge. Mahomes is not the same. Let's be honest. We used to say, wait till we have Worthy, Rice, and Brown at the same time. Yeah, I agree, Samuel. And I said it already. The wide receiver trio got off to a great start against the Raiders, which, listen, let's be honest. The Raiders also, that's the same team that held Denver to 10 points. Because 10 days ago, Denver had the most ugliest win ever. And their fan base, they were concerned. They were very concerned. Not now. I guarantee you the narrative in Denver is far different today than it was 10 days ago. Because that fan base was very concerned. Eric was good on calling out players being lazy. That's my thing. He doesn't care if it's Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't care if it's the wide receiver that's on the bottom of the depth chart. He will get in your face if he feels the need to do so. Because here's the thing. I think a lot of people feel like certain guys on the team are above criticism, and I don't agree with that. Like in this game specifically, do I think Travis Kelce did anything wrong? No. I think Travis Kelce, outside of one drop, had a great game. You could not have asked anything more from Travis Kelce in this one. Patrick Mahomes needed to play better. I think he held on to the ball too long at times, and that interception was a terrible throw. I think he would. I guarantee you, if Eric Bieniemy was the offensive coordinator, he would have held Jawan Taylor accountable. The Chiefs, I don't think Jawan Taylor ever played under Eric Bieniemy because 2023 was Taylor's first year with the team. Boy, I guarantee you, Jawan Taylor would not line up incorrectly ever again if Bieniemy was the offensive coordinator. I believe that. And if he was, Bieniemy would get in Andy Reid's office and say, look, you're the head coach, not me. We got to seriously use somebody else. Matt Nagy said in a press conference this year that he spoke to Jawan Taylor and said the penalties need to stop. And they did for a little bit. And now they're back. And it cost the Chiefs in this one, I think. Light says that if EB was here, Taylor would be on the bench. Yeah, I think so. I think so. As far as I know, the solution to the problem, shave the goatee. I suppose. Maybe that's one reason. So, okay, King says Daniel Jones ain't it, but they're winning with him. Like, listen, I don't know. I don't know if I'd call Daniel Jones a top 5 player right now, but they're winning with him. Jonathan Taylor should be in the MVP run, but they don't give MVP to non-QBs anymore, which is silly. It's -3.5 against Colts. Hold on. Let me pull up the betting lines because the Chiefs were favored for the Colts game. Let me see if I have that number on me by chance. The Chiefs. Oh, no, sorry. That's a different game. Okay. I never took a screenshot of it, but before today, the Chiefs were favored against the Colts. Now, oh boy, let's see what our good friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook have to say. That is NBA. I do not care about the NBA. Chiefs are favored 3.5. Woo. Okay. They make the odds, not me. The fact that the Chiefs are betting favorites against the Colts, and I know the home team gets a 3-point leeway. Oh boy. I do not know about that one. I don't know about that one. When did I start my Facebook page? It tells you. I started in 09 though. Bieniemy did need that again. Yeah. Bieniemy held guys accountable. I don't know why people think Chiefs fans didn't exist before 2018. Yeah, I mean, it's not like John Elway at Arrowhead was asking for the refs to silence the crowd. Remember that one? What about when the Chiefs broke the record for loudest stadium not once but twice? Patrick Mahomes was in college both times, I think. Yo Boy on YouTube says the system and the play calling is getting old. Teams are adapting and the Chiefs check down system isn't working, which is my other thought here is people do believe that the Chiefs hold back. And if that's the case, that should not, like, listen, Andy Reid's been coaching a very long time. And Patrick Mahomes has said that they have plays in the playbook that have been in there for more than a year. They just haven't had a situation to use them. I mean, you've got to start using those plays now. There is no holding back. Pull out all the stops. Gotti says we're cooked. Yeah, probably. Go after Cliff Kingsbury. I think Kingsbury might honestly be in the running for a head coaching job. Why would he take a lateral job? Because I know Jaden Daniels hurt right now. But once he comes back, I think if you don't get a head coaching job, you've got a good situation there. I'm not saying I disagree. I would love Cliff Kingsbury. But here's my other thing is that going to be an offensive coordinator who's going to be a buddy of Patrick Mahomes because they know each other back in Texas Tech? Or is that guy really going to come in here and actually get the guys to play football? Because even then, if you do that, Cliff is not going to be here a long time. And maybe people are okay with that for just 1 year. For whatever reason, people never hired Eric Bieniemy. So he'll be around for a long time. That guy held guys accountable. Mike McDaniel is an option. I don't think he's getting fired. People think he is, but there seems to be enough to where they feel like he'll be around. Yeah, Doug Peterson's out there. Mike Kafka could be available, Joshua. Yeah, those are all guys with familiarity. Those are options for sure. The Colts, yes, are coming off a bye, Ryan. You are correct. We don't get in with 9-7. Well, it wouldn't be 9-7 because there are 17 games now, which that still throws me off. I assume you mean 10-7 or 9-8. You're not getting in with 9-8. No way in hell you're getting in with 9-8. 10-7. Oof. 10-7's pushing it. 11-6, meaning you can only afford one loss. That is a big maybe. Like, you need the Chargers to collapse. And the one loss has to be Dallas. It cannot be anyone else. Charger Man 68 says the way the Chiefs are playing, they shouldn't be favored in any games moving forward. I don't disagree. Yeah, the fact that the Chiefs are favored is shocking to me. Like, really, really shocking. Do I think after this loss they should have gave the Jets a third-round pick to haul? Oh, I've been saying that before today. But the Chiefs wanted to hold on to that third-round draft pick, which is not going to be a late third-round pick, I guess. I guess it'll be earlier than expected. Listen, I've been asking you guys if you guys think the Chiefs will make the playoffs. I have yet to answer that question. Now, I'll say this. I wrote off the Chiefs when they were down 24-0, but let's be honest, who didn't? 24-0 in that Houston Texans game. I wrote the Chiefs off in the fourth quarter of that 49ers Super Bowl in Super Bowl 54. Super Bowl 58, I had my doubts. I wrote the Chiefs off in 2021. Since then, I've been pretty strong, and I've said this many times, that I don't think you should be writing off Kansas City. Now, at 5-5 going into week 12, whew, I don't know, man. Listen, I truly do believe that whatever thoughts you have, instant reactions, immediate reactions can be different. I'll answer that question in 24 hours when we do the podcast tomorrow. Actually, 22 hours to be exact. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Time, we'll be doing the Chiefs On podcast. And then Tuesday, not Wednesday because I'll be traveling, Tuesday we'll be breaking down the game between the Chiefs and the Colts. And I have no idea at this point what's going to happen with that game. I really have no idea. Hold on. Daniel says a block PAT and 2 straight 3-and-outs. I did not notice that. Hold on. Let me go back and check that. Yeah, ever since they got the touchdown. Yeah, you're right. 2 3-and-out. And you had the lead. And then the other time it was tied. That's not good. That is not good. Chiefs have a lot to figure out, man. Crash Tampa says, forget the division title, need to make the playoffs. Yeah, 100%. Why are they not running the ball? The Chiefs girl says, no idea. Andy Reid gets asked about it every week, and he says, yeah, I could have done this, and he doesn't. The look on the player's face always look like they don't want to compete. Now, I don't know about that, Edward, but they need to execute and play better. There's no question about it. I'll read a couple more comments, and then we'll sign off. 10-7 is not getting you in. No way. 11 and listen, I think 11-6. I said earlier there's no room for error. If you're going to go 11-6, the only game you can afford to lose is on Thanksgiving to Dallas. Because that's your only non-conference game remaining, or is there one more? Let me check. Yeah, that's your last non-conference game. That's the only game you can afford to lose. You've got to start beating guys in your conference because you've only won twice. One of them was the Raiders. The other one was the Ravens, a depleted Ravens defense. Chargers and Jaguars will lose more games. The Jaguars are a very up and down team. You just don't know. The Chargers, I do think the Chargers are falling out of the wild card picture. I do. Where's Royals? I mean, I don't know. They've yet to throw the ball to him once. I will be at the beach for those asking. Mitch Holtis said that today wasn't a must-win game. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's wrong. Listen, I know Mitch Holtis is an employee of the Kansas City Chiefs, so I get him saying that, but no. Gene Paul Chappell says, do the Chiefs finally bench? I don't know why I just said your name fully there. I think the hyphen threw me off, but Gene Paul says, do the Chiefs finally bench Taylor? I said on Twitter today, if you're not going to bench Taylor after he cost you twice, where one of them was at the 2-yard line and the other one was close to a first down, when are you going to bench him? When? I mean, Joe, I agree. Joe is saying everyone acting like missing the playoffs this year means the franchise is dead again. LOL. Look, I think for a team that's been to the AFC Championship game every single year in the Mahomes era, this is unprecedented waters here. Like, we're not used to seeing this. We're just not. Yeah, they're going to have to pull off a 2015 run. But if we're being honest, the schedule did ease up in 2015. And yes, they still want a playoff game, but this is just totally different. Very different, in fact. All right, I'm caught up on the comments, so I am going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you guys joining me for this episode of the Chiefs Zone Podcast. Usually when the Chiefs lose, like right now, all of social media combined, Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram, we have 1,500 followers. That is the most concurrent viewers we've ever had in the history of the podcast. So something good happened tonight. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central Time, we will talk more about this game and talk about the Chiefs moving forward. Tuesday night, we will break down the game between the Chiefs and the Colts. I'll be honest, I don't know what time that podcast is going to be. That'll probably be around 8:30 or 9 p.m. Central Time. Just be on the lookout for that. And that might not be a very long podcast because I got to keep that one very short. All right. Once again, thank you all for a great podcast tonight. Wish it was under better circumstances, but sometimes the losses tend to have a better outcome of viewers. But that's the way it goes, I guess. Once again, I'm Farji Vasuki, and thank you all for joining me. Relax. Try to enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll reconvene tomorrow, 6 p.m. Peace out.